All right, welcome to the presentation about digital photos. We're going to talk about how to capture and then how to edit photos. And the picture on the cover of this presentation is a photo that follows a lot of the rules we're going to talk about. One thing you're going to notice is the subject is very dark with black clothing and the background is white, so there's a really good contrast between the background and the foreground. You're going to also notice that the subject is in 1/3 of the photo, and that's called the rule of thirds. We'll talk about that in a little while. You will also notice that the pink umbrella stands out, which draws our eyes right up to her face, which is what the photo is intending to show us. So the first thing that I want to talk about is practice makes perfect. If you want to take good pictures, you need to make sure you practice. I also think that as a teacher, you should know the rules for taking photos so you can teach these to your students when they're making presentations or album covers or anything that involves pictures. They also need to know how to take good pictures so that their presentations look professional. How do you practice? You take pictures of people, pets, nature, or your favorite items. You can take pictures of anything, and the more pictures you take following these rules, the better you will get at it. The first rule is called the rule of thirds. And I already briefly talked about this, but you are to place important features at the intersection. So if you break a photo up into 3x3, where those lines intersect, that's where you should put your important features. This makes your pictures more visually appealing and it makes the picture better. So in this example, you can see that the subject is in the bottom right quadrant and it's right in the center of that grid, which is something that you're going to want to try to do when you're taking pictures. The second thing you want to do is think about light. In this example, you want to make sure you pay attention to where the light is coming from. If the light is coming towards the camera, the subject will be dark. So in my first example, you can see that those people in this photo are really dark because the light is coming towards the camera. In the other example, you can tell it's at the exact same beach at the same time, but we just flipped the subjects and the camera around and the picture came out really nice and clear. Another thing to think about is close-ups are cool. You want to make sure you try to get really close to your subject. This different perspective makes for a great photo. You want to make sure that your close-ups do not come out blurry, but you can use the zoom feature of your camera or your phone to get close-up pictures. Unique perspectives. This is a really easy one to do. You can take photos from different angles. So try to take a picture from down low or up high, or changing the camera angle. We're used to seeing things in our perspective, which is just right out of our eyes. So at about 5 or 6 feet off the ground, we look at things, whether we're sitting or standing. But if you lay on the ground and you look up and you take a picture, or you go up high on a chair or a table and you take a picture focusing down, that perspective is interesting and it's something different than our eyes usually see. And the last one is called framing. And this is how much or little of the scene or object you want to show. So in this example, this picture at the top, it could have shown the entire rainbow, but they only chose to show half of it. This makes our brain wonder what's on the other side of the rainbow. Also in this picture, a good technique is used is that our eye goes right to the ship because the rainbow ends at the ship. And in the bottom example, this framing is nice because we didn't just take a picture of the man on the outside of the building or the guys on the inside playing music. Instead, we framed it with both, which makes us looking at the photo wonder about not only one thing but two things because we see different pieces of that photo. You do have a short assignment dealing with pictures. There's 2 parts to the assignment. Part 1 is to take some pictures or look through your camera roll to find the following images. You need to find 5 images that deal with the rule of thirds, playing with light, close-up, unique perspective, and framing. And then once you find those pictures or take those pictures, you're going to create a new Google Sites page named Photo Editing, and you're going to add all 5 pictures with a sentence for each picture explaining the technique you used. Part 2, you're going to go ahead and explore some different photo apps. I want you to read pages 163 and 164 in your textbook. You're going to try out 2 apps or websites introduced in your textbook. You're going to edit a minimum of 2 photos, so each photo will be edited with a different app. And you're going to post the before and after pictures along with a sentence description. So you're going to tell me what app you used and how did you edit the photo. And this is going to be good because you're going to be able to try out 2 different apps or websites, and maybe you'll find that you like one of them better than the other. When you edit these pictures, you can change the lighting, you can crop them, you can colorize them. You can change the hue, the saturation, the brightness. You can add text to your photo. And I'm sure a lot of you already know how to use photo apps, but this is what I want you to do for the assignment. And it hopefully will give you a couple of new techniques in your own life and also in your classroom once you are a teacher. Thanks.